Your history, Mr. Howard.
19, 2025 FTA, 24 trespass NOLO, 2022, 2021, 2018, 2016 failure to appears.
Nixon.
Yes, Your Honor. I think the bond was already set at $600 surety bond for one of the giving false informations to the law enforcement. Was advocating for both $600 surety bond. This incident happened on May 11th, 2025. An officer was dispatched to 2101 Howell Mill Road, responding to the report of a suspicious male walking around the neighborhood. Upon arrival, the officer located the defendant in this case and asked him his first and last name. He stated his first and last name was Edgar Castian, and provided 3/30/1994. The officer ran the mail through the GCIC and received a negative response. Officer, with the help of an ICE agent, was able to get the defendant's real identity, and that's Edgar Castrejon, and that's Castrejon. And the officer asked the defendant his name again and provided another name, Castillan, Castillan. And then he further refused to give his social security. State was asked for a stay away, 2101 Howell Mill Road, requesting a social worker to visit to see if there's a housing need for help and no alcohol, drugs, or weapons.
Mr. McClain.
What was the state's recommendation of the bond? The 600 itself, or twice 600?
600 for each charge, so twice.
Understood. Your Honor, we asked the court to well, first of all, he's 12th grade. His education is 12th grade. He didn't quite finish, but almost. And he lives on Lenox Road in Atlanta. He does have some local contacts. His mother's here. We'd ask the court to consider the lowest possible bond in this situation, but a social worker visit, I think, is appropriate.
Okay, for each charge, it'll be $100 good bond, makes for a total of a $200 good bond. Stay away from the Howell Mill Road address, social worker visit to assess for a BHET or a housing issue. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Okay, the next waiver would be position number 15, Robert Myers, who's charged in case 25 CR 002568G with public drunk and pedestrian in a roadway. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
42, a resident of South Carolina. History out of South and North Carolina. 2025 entering premises after warning of the South Carolina. 2021 FTA. 2020 intoxicated, disruptive, that was dismissed. 2020 resistant officers conviction. 2024 public drunk, public disorderly conduct. Another 2024 arrest for public disorderly conduct conviction. 2019 public disorderly conduct. 2016 same thing, conviction. And a 2016 pedestrian under the influence.
Sally?
Thank you, Your Honor. I'm going to go ahead and say that the remainder of these positions, the state has the same concerns and is asking for a social worker visit and assessment to see if a BHET is appropriate. Mr. Myers specifically, excuse me one second, was reported to be near 74 North Side. At about 1 p.m., he was observed yesterday, May the 12th, by officers there walking into oncoming traffic. He was unable to keep his balance. He was walking against the flow of traffic, obviously intoxicated, creating a danger to himself and to others. He mumbled, he slurred, he smelled of alcohol. When he asked if he'd had anything to drink, he raised 3 fingers to officers. And when he was detained, he had 2-pint liquor bottles on him. You just heard he doesn't have criminal history out of Georgia. He's got a significant criminal history for a similar criminal trespass, public drunk, disorderly conduct out of North Carolina and South Carolina. 42 arrest cycles. We're asking for a $2,000 surety bond to stay away from the roadway in the road at north side around 74 north side. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and we'd ask for some kind of evaluation to assess what's going on with Mr. Roberts.
Ms. McLean?
Your Honor, certainly the social worker visit is the nieces that I've tried to reach. I just don't have enough digits for the phone numbers. We're trying Google searching what we believe is the spelling of their names. He has an 11th grade education and he's done a lot of landscaping. He's only in his 50s, but his life seems to be falling apart. So we do need a social worker visit.
Okay, for each charge, it will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the incident location, social worker visit, to assess for BHET and housing, no drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Next in line is position number 16, Daryl Nottingham, who's charged in case 25 CR 002516B with criminal trespass and possession of marijuana less than an ounce. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
76. On probation for shoplifting. 2022 probation. 2019 shoplifting conviction. 2016 failed to appear. Oh, my bad. He had a 2019 battery too. And he has a bench warrant.
So, Your Honor, this gentleman has a substantial criminal history with multiple felony convictions for violence, theft, and drugs. He's got an active probation violation on that 2019 shoplifting case that's got a long probationary sentence. He has an open 23 SC case, which is a felony drug case, and an active failure to appear associated with that. This case specifically deals with the 11th of May. This gentleman was on our calendar yesterday, but reset for medical reasons. So on the 11th of May, law enforcement made contact with him at the West End MARTA station, that's 680 Lee Street. He was sleeping on the floor. Officers asked him questions like, where are you going? Are you on a way to a destination? Are you taking a train or a bus? He admitted he had no plans to use the transit system. Officers asked him to leave, told him he couldn't just hang out at the location. He refused to leave after being told repeatedly to do so. He was placed under arrest. He was found with marijuana in his possession. The concern the state has, Your Honor, is the active cases with probation violations and failures to appear. We're asking that he have a $2,000 surety to stay away from that MARTA station at Lee Street, 680 Lee Street. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons, and we'd ask for a social worker visit to see if a BHET is appropriate.
Mr. McLean?
We agree with the state on the social worker visit. We leave the bond up to the judge, of course, and ask for the lowest appropriate bond. But he does appear to need the social worker advice.
Okay, on each charge, it will be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $1,000 good bond. Stay away from the West End MARTA station on Lee Street. Social worker visit to assess for BHET and housing if necessary. No drugs, alcohol, weapons while out on bond. Next in line is position number 20, Craig Washington, who is charged with willful obstruction of law enforcement officers. Pedestrian must walk on the shoulder if no sidewalk. Pedestrian darting out in traffic and disorderly conduct. Is there a history, Mr. Howard?
Yeah, he just got out of jail at the end of April. He got over 50. He got 3 open trespass cases.
Okay, Ms. Allen?
Thank you, Your Honor. So this gentleman just had a dead docket order entered in 25 CR 001 809H. On the criminal trespass case that was April the 3rd, based on his, I guess, presence on the competency calendar there. He has just in 2024, 1, 2, 3, 5 other cases besides the one I just mentioned, where he was either released with an SOB from the jail after being on the competency calendar, or case was null pros because it was determined to be IST. All of them are criminal trespass, false information obstruction, shoplifting. So he also has history out of Nevada and Illinois and Florida. He's a multi-state convicted felon, Your Honor. This is an incident from yesterday, the 12th of May at about 5:30 p.m. The defendant was seen around the area of 2565 Old Milton Parkway in Alpharetta. He was actually on the ramp area towards, adjacent to 400 southbound and northbound there. It was reported that he was there. A police report or a call was made. Officers made contact with the defendant. He was sitting on the ramp at that point after having been in traffic. When officers tried to talk to him, he darted into traffic, again, causing almost an accident and endangering himself. He refused verbal commands. He actually got 3 lanes into the highway. He then spit at officers as they were trying to detain him. There's obviously some concern for his safety as well as his mental health status. He's had multiple cases come through just in the last less than a year. We're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8 cases in addition to the one in front of you now. We're asking for a $4,000 surety, Your Honor. No drugs, alcohol, or weapons. Comply with any medication and mental health treatment. And I'm guessing he needs to go to the competency calendar. I'm not sure. Thank you.
Right. Mr. Bartels is very familiar with it, as am I, and I think probably the court, he does need to go to the competency calendar. This is not very different from the other stuff, and it was pretty recent. We'd ask the court to rule accordingly.
So he's got a March bond order in 25 CR 000446C. He was released on a $2,000 SOB through the jail, March the 27th. Told to stay away from Walmart and comply with medical treatment. Other than that, everything else has been dead docketed.
Mr. McLean, if he does not have an MHET, I want him to go ahead and for you to go ahead and order that. If he does have one, then that's fine. Just have Mr. Bartels let me know. And for each charge, it'll be a $500 good bond, makes for a total of a $2,000 good bond. Stay away from the incident location. We'll place him on no drugs, alcohol, weapons, social worker visit. We'll place him on the next available competency calendar. Ms. Bridgewater, do we know when that calendar is?
Yes, sir. It's going to be May 29th.
Okay, so May 29th. Competency calendar, and if he does not have an MHET, let's go ahead and get that ordered. Okay.
Very good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The next in line is position 22, Jesse Williams, charged in case 25 CR 002582Y with criminal trespass. Your history, Mr. Howard?
2025 FTA. Was arrested last year for trespass conviction. 2023 simple battery, 2 counts conviction. 2021 probation, simple battery. 2019 FTA. 2019 disorderly conduct conviction, probations, and yeah, he's homeless too.
Okay, Ms. Allen?
Your Honor, this defendant just pled on March the 18th, 2025, to criminal trespass in 24 CR 002804F. He was ordered to stay away from the same location in this case, which is the Oxford Village Townhomes at 2980 Jonesboro Road. His 2020 criminal trespass, which is 22 CR 001-880G, is in dormant bench warrant status. He failed to appear for trial in 2022. Again, that's a criminal trespass for the same location. At 8:25 p.m. on the 12th of May, so yesterday at this location, 2980 Jonesboro Road, officers were made known and made aware that the defendant was there on property. Residents at the property reported that he was standing in front of a minor child, rubbing his crotch area over his pants and staring at her. She notified her mom in the leasing office. The leasing office realized who this was because he has been dealing with them for some time, at least since 2020. Officers were aware of the defendant and placed him under arrest. He's been criminally trespassed, specifically on March 18 when he was ordered to stay away from the location as part of his plea in that 24 CR case. Are we on the Zoom or are we off the Zoom?
YouTube. Do we need to go off, Miss Allen? We're gonna have
I
to go
think
off in the
so.
next case. Okay, so if we can go off the YouTube feed, please.